church if I was forced to do this. So I allowed the devil to come in and change my mind. So once I allowed the enemy to come in, then I just went for it. So the choice is yours, because you can say yes or no.
That goes right back to, that's absolutely right. And everything there is a choice, and we talked about that on last week. Also, you were saying something, and it brought back something that we talked about on last week as well. You got to recognize your worth.
Yeah.
Okay. But diving right back into the lesson. Holiness. So holiness is a choice. Holiness is a lifestyle. Please, I want to stress that, especially young adults in the Church of God in Christ. So often we get caught up in the dress, the outer, and that's good. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, granted, who you gonna bring to Christ and you looking busted? Because if you telling me, yo, this God I serve is good,
He look like that,
and you look like, you know what I'm saying, something off a Brokeback Mountain.
Your breath stink.
I mean, I'm not really certain that I really want to follow you. You know? You look like, you know what? I think I might stick with what I got going on. Yeah. My situation may not be yours, but I don't look like that. So, I mean,
and that's real.
Seeing is believing.
That's straight up true.
So I do want to stress, holiness is a lifestyle. It definitely has nothing to do. Let me tell you something. I ain't gonna say that. I'm gonna say something else. Let me tell you something. There are people, and thank you so much for being transparent about, you know, where you were. And where God has you now. But let me tell you something. I'm convinced that there are people in the grand old Church of God in Christ that wearing their habits and screwing deacon so and so.
I'm a witness.
I need you to testify on that, okay? I might get in trouble off that statement.
I can call them names.
And I'm not just talking about.
No names.
Nah, please don't. Please don't.
I don't care. I don't care.
You do that in your church. We will be shut down. And I'm not just limiting Church of God in Christ. I'm just naming that because that's who we are. That's what we represent. But there are look at the Catholic Church. For example.
Hopefully it ain't quite that bad.
The priest sleep with little balls.
The priest been with, I don't know, like a whole football team.
I'd rather a preacher that slept with little women than a preacher that slept with little boys.
I mean,
that's real.
I don't know.
At least shoes a sin. We were seeing women. The priest sleep with little boys.
The fact that shoes a sin.
So what I'm saying is that we can't get caught up in the outer. Two, we can't get caught up in titles. I will say this though. You respect the title, respect the position, respect the person for who they are, but don't get caught up in that. Okay. And especially at the age that we are, most of us were in our early 20s, mid 20s. Some of us are a little bit older, which is cool. But we're kind of at that pinnacle point, especially in the church. It's either, I mean, you're not a little kid, you're not a teenager, most of you, but you're not, you're not with the adults who's married with the 3-4 kids, and
you ain't Bible study 400 yet. Right,
you ain't in Bible study 400 yet. You can't, do the Greek and the Arabic. You can't, and that's cool. But in doing that, know what you're striving for.
This is true.
Strive for, perfect your relationship with God. Perfect and make sure that you are living a holiness life. That excuse me. That what you're searching for is not titles. Because sometimes we put this big emphasis on the title, and sometimes we put this big emphasis on the position. Again, respect the position, respect the title. But yo, let me tell you something. If you're not saved, if you're not living a holy life, and if you don't have no power, guess what? You a dressed up mess. You ever been around somebody that look good? They cleaned up. I mean, as far as the outer, they cleaned up real good. They got the nice suit and everything, but you get real close to them and they stink. Or you just been around somebody that stink and they don't even know that they stink. And you like, yo, son, do you smell that? Like, yo, did you step in something? But the person that stink don't even know that they stink.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And
give me 1 second. And that's because they're used to being like that and they've gotten comfortable in their mess. Comfort kills.
As the missionary said, when you get the title, I just had to do that. When you get the title, that's when the devil really kicks. Because when I was just regular divine, I didn't have the struggles and the title that I have now as the preacher. When I was just sitting in the pew, clap my hands, dance, and I was fine. You know, the devil didn't come. But when you get the title, that's when the devil feels well. He's already messing with you at the lower rank. But you ever heard the saying? You ever heard the saying? Every level, there's a different devil.
Oh, wow.
I'm sure you heard that before. It ain't a cliche. That's real. That's real, because the more that you excel in God, the more the devil tries to stick his hand in there for you.
Can I stick a disclaimer in there real quick? You said something. You said low level, but I kind of want to counter that real quick, because there are some people that are sitting in the back pew that don't have a title, but they can get a prayer through than the people that are sitting on the pulpit. Okay, so let's not get to that point where we're saying, and I know what you meant, but I'm just clear because this goes on YouTube.
Oh yeah, I wasn't saying.
I'm just clarifying this for other people who I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
But I need to just clarify that. Because if it doesn't matter, it's not even about your title.
This is true.
Because if you reached a certain point and you're not doing anything, the devil ain't even worried about you. He's more worried about the person that's sitting in the back, but they laying on their face every morning praying and wailing and sending up a wailing and getting a prayer through. That person that's doing missions work and outreach and evangelism that nobody ever sees. He's more worried about that person than the person that's sitting up there with the gold chain on and the big ring, and you saying a whole bunch of nothing. Because he got you already.
Clapping your hands.
You know what I mean? So I got what you're saying. Okay,
yeah. I keep forgetting.
I got what you're saying.
I said low class.
But we have
the anointed one.
We have a whole audience here that I need to stick that
about how's the story go exactly? I know y'all heard it more than me about how all these people came to pray for this dude that was dying, and he just like kept right on dying. Meanwhile, there was this other dude in the corner praying. And when the other people had, like, when all the bishops and whatever had given up, dude comes over, takes his hat off, and I don't even think he said a word. He like laid his hands on him and kind of like groaned, and then the dude like popped back up. And
what was this at?
This was here.
No, it wasn't here.
No, it didn't happen here, but it was a story.
Pastor tells the story a lot, but it wasn't here originally.
I've been here 2 years. I must have heard that story at least like 10 times. You heard that because it went in out there. You heard the story. You don't even notice it.
You don't remember it either? No. Because you're on the drums, you don't pay attention.
He's here, he ain't here though.
That's cool.
Because I've heard that story.
I mean, I'm just trying to, Okay. So we talked
Oh, she was gone.
Another girl here, but not here.
Yeah, here, but not here. So we talked about holiness, and pretty much most of us, I don't really have to go into it so much because I mean we hear about it a lot. Just wanted to touch on it a little bit. But modesty, what is modesty? What is modesty? And then we'll talk about the difference between holiness and modesty. Courtney, I haven't heard from you all night.
Yeah, Courtney.
I mean, he was on fire two weeks ago.
Yeah, Courtney. What you got tonight?
Modesty.
What would you say modesty is?
Can it be like being aware? You know, like
explain.
Being aware of yourself, like not like if you know you're in a certain situation, and you know how in certain situations you can't be the like if you're at a business meeting, you know you can't be the same way that you are with your friends.
Okay.
So it's like you just have to be aware of yourself, and you know that you can't go dress the same way that you would if you were going to the movies with going with people that that you've been around.
I got the quality of being modest, freedom from vanity, boastfulness, etc. Yep. Regard
like humility.
I guess
I like that.
Humility. Yeah.
You can do
regard for decency of behavior, speech, dress, etc. Simplicity, moderation.
Again.
All right, so boom, that's my holiness one too.
We came back to it. Boom.
All right. Corral, modesty. Don't tell me that I don't need the Webster Dictionary. You tell me Corral chapter 1 verse 2 modesty. In your own words. I mean, we'll talk about it. Because I ain't coming back to you again, so.
I have no clue, but
when it comes, when somebody shoots out modesty, what comes to your head? First thing.
Plain.
Don't think about it too much. Plain.
Vanilla.
Plain. Thanks, Corey. But Corral. Nothing at all.
Ain't it like not taking credit for something?
Humility.
That's something.
Okay. Was you gonna say something else? Yo, what the fuck? You look real quiet. Y'all quiet over there. What you got? What you got? Humility. Excuse me, modesty. Oh man. Okay. It's cool.
Y'all terrible.
Why they terrible?
Nothing good to my mind.
Why they terrible?
When you hit it with modesty.
I mean,
What you want? Extraordinary?
No.
I don't. Just tell me what comes to your mind. I mean, it's no. We're gonna discuss it. I'm not
real. You don't like a modest female. You like them little ghetto banshee things. Right.
It's real serious though.
I mean, and that's real live.
Like serious.
I don't want no. I want a modest female. I don't want no banshee thing.
You don't want somebody to say that.
That is.
I don't want nobody playing.
I don't want nobody playing. I want somebody extraordinary.
Ordinary. Modesty is ordinary. Is it really ordinary?
If it was ordinary, everybody would be modest.
Is it really?
I mean, you put plain up there.
Because
he said plain. So.
I bet that say that I'll get in trouble if I say that.
Watch yourself, preacher.
I know. That's what I said. I'll get in trouble if I say that.
Okay, cool. We got enough up here to discuss. So we have for holiness, we have it's a choice. We have lifestyle, humility, the way you present yourself, set apart for the use of God. And for modesty, we have awareness, plain, humility. Tell me, how do they differ? What's the difference between holiness and modesty?
You don't need one for the other. You don't need to be modest. We don't need to be holy to be modest.
That is true.
Okay. I'm listening. Go ahead.
Explain that.
It's not a lifestyle.
No, modesty is a lifestyle because you can turn it on and off. You can turn it on and off, but it can come off as false. If you got like false modesty, people put something out there.
You mean I wear my Gucci mama skirt in the club on Saturday, wear my long skirt on Sunday?
You might be modest in front of the cameras, but that doesn't mean behind the scenes you're completely different.
I mean, but okay, let me say this.
We talking.
It's kind of Now that can go two different ways, because you can be modest in a good way and in a bad way. Because now if you go into the office and on Fridays I wear my jeans, my hat, and my regular shirt, but on Monday through Thursday I'm straight and tie. So that could be in a different way. But like the missionary said, you can have your hoochie skirt on Monday through Saturday, and Sunday you have your habit on running around the church. So you can have that you can look at that in two different ways.
I don't see how your clothing will make you modest.
You can be modest.
Let me give you an example. There's this preacher who I know. We went to Fridays. Remember my first, we went to Fridays. So we were just out eating, having a good time. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning. Now Friday, they told me that they closed at 2 because the club people coming in there. So we just all talking, and I see somebody. I said, wait a minute, I know her. And so my friend said, yeah, that's Evangelist so-and-so. Really?
Don't you call no name.
Evangelist so-and-so had her chest out, skirt up here, you can walk and see the under. So, me, I'm just, bless you, Evangelist, how are you? So, and then me, I went to her church Sunday morning and she had the long dress on and running around the church speaking in tongues. So
she went from doing all that, then going to church and doing speaking in tongues. That's weird.
And you can't say that it's a lifestyle if you could turn it on and off, because you're not supposed to be faking holiness.
Exactly.
You're not. But
holiness is a lifestyle.
But believe it, we have done it, and I say we have done it because I have done it too. Mm-hmm. I've been in that position, as I said in the beginning. I've been in that position where Sunday morning I was in church, and Monday through Friday you say something to me, I'll cuss you out, and wouldn't think about it, wouldn't care how you felt. And it got to the point where it got so bad. We went to church one Sunday, somebody said something to me, I'm finna cuss somebody in church.
That's more common than you would like to think.
So I have been there. So it's easy to do. Once you get complacent and get comfortable in doing it, and once you've been doing it for a long time, it's very easy to do. It is. And the only reason why I can speak on it because I've been there. I've been to that place. So it is easy to do.
And just like the person goes back, just like the person who stink and don't know they stink.
And don't know they stink.
Sometimes they don't know they stink because it's brought to their, I mean, you smell it, I ain't today, really. Sometimes they don't know that they stink until somebody brings it to their attention. Mm-hmm. Other times they know they stink, but it's just like, whatever. Ain't nobody said anything to me. Ain't nobody addressed me about it. Whatever. I'm comfortable where I am.
And that's real.
Comfort kills. I think I should write that down.
It really does.
Yeah.
Because I was comfortable doing me.
Comfort can kill. Let me say that.
I was very comfortable doing what I was doing, and I thought nothing
I
of
just
it.
Write across the board. Whatever.
And people would call me and want to pray for me, and they'd be praying, and I'd be listening. And they prayed so long, I put the phone down.
It's so disrespectful.
I'm being honest. I was to that point where I was just sick of church. I was tired. I was done. Mm-hmm. Y'all can have this.
But see, that's the thing. And I think you said something very important. You were sick of church. Mm-hmm. But there's a difference.
That's why I had my encounter, God.
And
that's when I had my encounter.
We talked about it, and we talked about. Sister Keisha talked about it a little bit on last week. She said we treat God like we treat the church.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And there's a difference between church and our relationship with God.
Right. And it took Sister Russell to teach me that.
You can do church all day long, and we keep attendance, and we do it well. You know what I'm saying? We even know how to perform, quote unquote.
Oh yeah.
When we come to church, but the fact of the matter is that once you're put in that situation where somebody steps on your foot, whether you say, it's okay, sis, it's all right, brother, don't want you to worry about it, or whether you be like, yo, you
mom.
You know what I'm saying? And that's on the tip of your toe, the tip of your tongue, you might want to go back and check yourself. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
No problem.
Okay? So, holiness and something's wrong with y'all. Holiness and modesty differ. You don't need one for the other. If I can stick something in here, holiness deals with the inner. Mm-hmm. Okay? versus modesty. Modesty can be both inner and outer. I'm tired of writing. Because my handwriting stinks. But
why are you racing up?
It's okay.
What if I want to take notes?
I'm taking notes.
He takes notes and he sends them to you.
He got my email.
Give me that email.
So holiness deals strictly with the inner. Holiness is something that is not something that's worked from the outer inner. It's worked from the inner outer.
Yeah.
Okay. Once you once you have, I don't want to say achieved holiness, but once you have maintained a lifestyle of holiness, then modesty will kick in. Mm-hmm. Because your relationship with God and your relationship with God and you're striving for holiness, God will say, there's some things you ain't even got to question anybody. Should I put this on? Should I not put this on? Should I wear, you know what I'm saying, some cutouts, you know what I'm saying, with my butt cheeks showing? That's not even a question anymore.
But one thing.
I got you. Give me 1 second. But what I find so interesting though is how, because I'm getting old, y'all. I'm losing my train of thought.